I was upset about the pot thing, but I feel like if it was a normal day, I would have just let you have the pot. But I was very unhappy about the puzzle thing. I know I can't tell you what to do, but if you're representing a group and you don't do very well, a simple, hey guys, I'm sorry that didn't go very well, it goes a long way. You had 10 people depending on you, and after not doing so well, you laughed at all of us. It was very painful. That's actually why I'm apologizing, because I feel like I transferred aggression onto a second situation, and that was unfair on you.
She's loud, and then she doesn't have money for implants now. It's injections. Look at her butt from the top. Those are fillers. And she got on her lip too, so you can see like the pores are white. She should have used the money for like personal hygiene.
I beg, who Sultana they talk to like this? Because at this point, I have heard Isabella, I have heard Tracy, and Ebuka. You need to do something on Sunday, okay?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Hey guys, hey Bethans, welcome back to my channel. My name is Austin Betha and I'm so excited to have you here. Now, if this is your first time coming across my channel, hello, we are so excited to have you here. Please consider being a part of us by clicking on the subscribe button, and also giving this video a thumbs up right now or at the end if you enjoyed watching it, okay? And of course, to my returning Bethans, my LOMLLLLLs, the absolute loves of my life, thank you for always coming back to watch my videos, okay? Now, last night was a lot in terms of conversations, in terms of, people sitting in groups and just talking and doing all of that stuff. And I was just very worried about the conversation that Sultana was having in the kitchen with Gigi Jasmine. Saying, oh, you did not have money to do this. Look at it, it's fillers, is this one. I'm just like, girl, at some point, when I went on the internet, some people said it was Tracy. Some people said, oh, she was talking about Isabella. And I'm just like, okay, regardless of who she was talking about, I mean, like, at what point did you guys get to that stage where you're now talking about them in that way? I'm sure people will say, oh, but better, if it's Isabella, it serves her right because Isabella called Thelma a transgender, but that doesn't even make sense because they were both coming at each other. Like, it was a face of, this one is not, she said it at her back, or, no, they were saying it to each other. There was a fight. So that for me is even more, it makes more sense to me. I'm not saying that the things that they said made sense, so I'm just saying that the idea of them saying it to each other in a heated argument, it makes sense. But Sultana, who are you talking about? And, her speaking about personal hygiene, I'm just worried, like, girl, do you know what that means? I mean, if you had personal hygiene, will you go and pee in somebody's bag? Because you dey shout personal hygiene now. You just dey use alcohol, they cover body. And for me, it's just really crazy. Whether she was speaking about Tracy or Isabella, I felt like she went really, it was too much. And what pisses me off the most is the fact that as active as she was in the kitchen, running her mouth like that, you will never find her active like that when it is time for a task or something. You will never. That's when she will not remember, oh, I cannot really. Sometimes people need to understand that this is a show and people are watching. Like, we're literally watching. People are taking notes. Brands are taking notes. It's just a lot of things involved. And I feel like when you get into the house, your ability to comport yourself is key. The things that you say with your mouth. Like, anyway, that's by the way, guys. If you know who she was talking about, let me know, because me, I have no idea. And to be honest, I can't even be bothered. Okay? Guys, let me tell you, even when she was saying all those things about the person, Gigi was like, salty. Like, that was too much. For Gigi Jasmine, when like I'm about to shout, salty, you go no say that's a choke. He choke. But anyways, after that conversation, I know that she and Gigi Jasmine, they had a conversation later on. They were talking about Jason J and how, like, he's now always with Joanna. They were talking about Jason J and Joanna. So for her, it's like, she doesn't really know what's going on. That she feels like there's something going on between Jason J and Joanna at this point because they're spending so much time together, wanting. After they had that conversation, later on, I saw her on the bed, with Jason J, the same Jason J, and then they were, of course, under the duvet. And as much as I would like to say, oh, what was happening under that duvet? Oh, there was movement, guys, I know. They were just lying down there. And then I think her leg was somehow, he shall raised it to position the leg well on his own leg, It wasn't deeper than that. I saw that one. But my point is, now from there they start. Now from beating drum, dancing, they start. Maybe you say she be distraction, yet you still go back to her every other time. Distraction. But anyway, maybe he even needs a distraction because since on Sunday, Jason J has not particularly been himself. You know, the guy has been unusually quiet. You know, he's mostly by himself. If he's not swimming, he's sitting down on the chair in the garden, you know, with a duvet, you know, use cap cover his face. I'm just like, guy, you're dealing with so much and maybe you need the distraction at the end of the day. So now you know. Okay. Anyways, guys, there was also this apology session between Imisi and Faith. Well, I probably will never call it a session because for the most part, Imisi was just making her hair. She was not saying a single word to Faith. You know, he was like, both of us were actually wrong, you know, with that whole kitchen situation and all of that. You see, Imisi no do. She was just there making her hair. She was not saying anything. You know, he asked her, okay, do you want me to apologize to you in front of the housemates? And I think she said that was not necessary or something. I don't even know. You know, he just kept talking and she was just there looking. You know, she wasn't responding to him. He asked her about his slippers because, you know, he can't find it. And that slippers, Imisi told Big Brother that she was the one that took it. You understand? That she took it to, you know, deal with him a bit. So he was asking her. She did not say anything. So at this point, I don't even know, you know, where they are with their own friendship and all of that, right?
The whole pot situation was, we were both wrong. I know you're saying the apology. You said, what did you say again? You said it doesn't matter now.
I don't even know where they are with their own friendship at this point, right? Now, there was also a conversation between Kola, Mensan, Imisi. I think there was one more person there, you know, they were talking about the whole Dede calling them fish and all of that. And it's almost like the housemates are trying to now use that name to sort of haunt Kola because, I mean, he's the one that put himself in that situation. You cannot go and use the name fish to go and do anything to Coin. Coin has accepted it. He say any type of fish you want to call him, call him. You know, it's not even that deep for him. So, you know, these housemates, you know, these people, especially Imisi, she was like, you to go and try and kiss somebody else or go and try and do something else, you know, so that it will pain her. And the caller is like, no, that he's not that type of person. He kept shalayeing to them that, look, you know, they did not mean it in that way. They did not mean it, that it's not even that deep, that this is a show, you know, of course, they're trying to create highlights and all of that. You know, he was just trying to explain. I'm like, okay, so I guess that the conversation that both of them had that night, you know, when I said they were talking in the dark and all of that, I guess that to an extent, you know, they made headway because even after that, or before that, I saw Kola and, you know, they were playing tennis, you know, together and laughing. So I guess that they're good. And I think that the only thing Kola needs to do is to learn his boundaries, you know. Don't cross this path. But the thing is, this is the hard for the guy. So I really don't know. Okay. Now there was also this conversation between Victory and Bright Morgan, right? You know, Bright was in the garden and he was sitting by himself. Victory now came to join him and was asking him like, guy, are you okay? You know, you're quiet and all. He said, hey, just they think about in life, Jare. You know, they started talking at some point. They started talking about his girlfriend outside. And he was like, oh, that he knows that the girlfriend is rooting for him on the outside. You know, that for him, he doesn't just want to think about the outside world. He just wants to, you know, live in the moment and do everything that he can. Then at some point, they started talking about Midday. And it's like, that Midday girl, you know, my fear is that at some point, she will fall for me. I'm like, who is the Midday girl? So he's like, what is that Midday girl? Like that, I don't understand. Like, for me, it did not make sense.
I'm just scared about this babe, this Midday girl. I just feel like at some point, this girl can really fall for me. It's going to be a problem.
Somebody that you are always together, you are moving up together, which one is that Midday girl? Hello? Am I a joke to you? Because I don't really understand that Midday girl. And I feel like at some point, she will fall for me. And that will be a serious issue. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, let me not speak for her because even me too, I'm a human being. And you're a human. So like, guys, after that conversation, I saw him with Midday. Now, she was not that Midday girl at that point because he was now begging for chances, second chance. At this point, I feel like it's the 50th chance that girl is giving you because every time you keep acting in a certain way and you're saying a different thing to her.
Another chance to set things right. Feels like I ask for a chance every 2 days, right?
I just need you to understand the gravity of the things you do. I think sometimes I let things go easily. Maybe you need to lose me to understand that.
No. Don't say it. So why don't I make it up to you and then you see how I take things off from today?
It's like, hey, I know that I've asked you for one too many chances, but just give me a chance to make it up to you and all of that. Oh, because on the girl issue, now why at that time you did talk? Because that Midday girl. Don't make me look like trash in front of your friends. That's not okay, you know. Even if we're quarreling, that doesn't mean you will now start referring to me as like, I beg that girl and that boy. Why, like, what's that? You know, no say victory now go they look the Midday somehow. You know, like some things I don't really know as they think, but you know, they were having that conversation. I'm just like, next. Anyways, moving away from that, there was also a conversation between Doris and Denari saying, oh, you know, that he wanted to ask Doris if she would be his girlfriend and all of that. He didn't know whether to do it and just say, oh, choko, everybody, I want to ask her out and all of that. And she was laughing. They were in the garden. I think she was doing laundry or something. She was like, you can still do it now. You can still do it now. I'm like, now, wow, I go love. Well, thank God they've settled their own issue too, because I mean, I told you guys that there was a bit of, you know, a rift between them because of the whole head of house challenger thing. But you know, they're good. And in fact, I even saw them on the bed together. They were cuddling together. I'm like, okay. Anyways, guys, I think that's all the gist that I have for you on this particular video. If I missed out on anything, let me know. Okay, let me know. Also, let me know what you think about the whole Sultana calling somebody all those names and talking about personal hygiene. Like, that's the one that got me like, girl, even in your alcoholic state, your highness state, where you don't use the lie, if you knew what hygiene was, you will not try to do that. Because you don't know, say your piece now gets a lot of things with it. You go piss out of person bag. Not let me go back there. I'm trying to move away from it. But if you say, let's go back, I'm equal to the task. Okay, anyways, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed watching, please do not forget to give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't done that already. And of course, I'll see you guys on the next one. Okay, bye.